Daily Show, 9/10, Wednesday. What a rainy one. Man, I got outside and I thought I had a new lake in front of my house. Too bad the property value don't go up for that, you know? We got a good show. Continue our conversations with Vitality here in a couple of minutes' time. Then at 10:35, going to be talking to the National Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Luke Mickelson is the founder of the national group. We'll get all the details. We're also going to talk about the impact that chapters like Alton and the Riverbend regions have for Sleep in Heavenly Peace and the great work that's done across the country. A lot of great conversations come down the pipeline in the next 2 hours. Really excited for that one. Excited for Vitality to join us here shortly and ready to get this Wednesday going. Hey, download the RiverBender.com app today. You'll never miss out. And hey, a lot of people benefited from those weather alerts last night, and for all of you that are recovering from storm damage, if you have any, tons of great trusted and true businesses out there that can help you with that. If you have any issues, you can find out more at RiverBender's directory page, and you can stay up to date by, again, downloading that app or signing up for the daily email update. Here's what we're following this morning. We'll start here. We're having a little bit of trouble getting our news feed pulled up for you, but we'll start here first. Bunker Hill Fire Department Company 1 responded Friday, March 6th at 3 p.m. to a serious residential structure fire inside the Bunker Hill city limits. First arriving crews encountered heavy smoke and visible fire coming from the home and began suppression efforts and operations immediately. No injuries reported. The cause of the blaze has not been released yet. The department did thank mutual aid partners and recognized the Staunton Ambulance Service for EMS standby and firefighter rehabilitation support. You can see a full detailed report on that at RiverBender.com/news. And now, as our feed comes up, on March the 10th, the Alton Police Department responded after a student on a school bus traveling in the city placed an emergency call. Officers located the bus near State Street and 4th Street and then spoke with that student who did make the report, according to Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford. After investigating, police did determine there was no actual emergency, despite what was initially being reported. Chief Ford said the situation was safely resolved and emphasized that the students were not in danger at any point during that incident. Police did not release additional details about why the student did make that phone call. We will keep you updated if any more details on that do emerge at RiverBender.com/news. Also in the news today, Glen Carbon is closer to building its own water treatment plant after the village board unanimously approved a resolution authorizing a notice of intent to award the project bid to Cordy Luda-Wohan Contractors, Inc., pending Illinois EPA approval. Now, the contractor submitted the lowest of 6 bids. That totaled $16.4 million, coming well below expectations. Officials also cited a $1.1 million federal grant secured earlier this year, though the money may not arrive before a bid award. With current funding, rate hikes of 15% in 2027 and 2028 may be needed. The IEPA review could conclude by April. We'll keep you updated when more details on that review do conclude. Also in the news today, Alton High School art students are getting 2 major chances to show their work in professional gallery settings. 7 students have pieces selected for SIUE's 2026 Annual High School Art Exhibition, with a closing reception and award ceremony set for March the 26th. Additional student artwork will be on display at the Jacoby Art Center in Alton from March 14th through April the 18th. Art Department Chair Bridget Heck said the students worked hard and deserve the recognition. She noted many works are large-scale, made possible by a grant, and encouraged the community to attend. Also in community news, The East Alton Woods River High School Student Council will host its first annual Spring Craft Fair coming up in a few weeks, March the 28th and 29th, inviting the Riverbend to shop more than 80 vendor booths while supporting student projects. The fair runs 9 a.m. till 4 p.m. Saturday and 10 a.m. until 4 p.m. Sunday. Shoppers enters through the gym for about 40 booths, then they'll cross to the East Building for about 40 more. Items include wreaths, jewelry, candles, decor, crocheted goods, woodwork, and on-site t-shirt printing. Admission is $3 daily or $5 for both days. Concessions from the event will also benefit after prom. And that's a look at what we're following around the Riverbend this morning. Let's take a look at weather. Man, we were getting some rain this morning, my friends. 3 o'clock rolled on through, and our weather map was right on the money with it. And Michael Ryan, Exterior Roofing Professionals, they're the ones that power RiverBender.com weather, and we really couldn't thank them enough this morning when we had so many alerts go out, about 6 different alerts in the matter of minutes. What I thought was so unique about it is just seeing that our alerts were going out before, some of the regional TV, and really that just showcases RiverBender.com, local media, getting you the information really as quickly as we can, because, seconds matter and minutes matter when it comes to storms. And hey, do you have some water damage after that storm, or do you think that maybe this is a good wake-up call for you, that when the monsoon season comes, it's time to really hunker down and take care of the house? You really can prevent water damage, and that can go a long way with Michael Ryan Exteriors. Overflowing gutters, that can lead to rot and leaks, and they can take care of that for you too. You can get a free quote today by going to riverbender.com/weather. It's 57 degrees. It feels like it's 57 out there. Humidity at 97% because of the rain in the area right now. Today, cloudy, windy, and cooler today with periods of rain and a thunderstorm. Even on the horizon still. Then a leftover shower as we head into this evening. Tonight, just windy. Otherwise, clear to partly cloudy, and it will be much colder. We'll see temperatures drop down pretty low, down to 30 degrees as we head into Thursday. Today, temperatures do reach 59, so we got a couple more degrees to go until we see that temperature drop to 30. And then on Thursday, no rain in the forecast, a high of 54, a low of 43 degrees. On Friday the 13th, a high of 55, a low of 33. And then on Pi Day, Saturday the 14th, a high of 62, a low of 50, no rain. And then on Sunday, we're getting rain, a high of 60, a low of 26 with an 85% chance of precipitation. We're going to see rain in the morning with a couple of showers, and then that should clear out by the afternoon, and then the wind comes and cooler temperatures will hit, and you'll see temperatures drop, like we said, nearly 24 degrees as we head into Monday, and that's a look at your next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 57 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like it out there. For time and temperature throughout the day, 618-465-4545, or just go to riverbender.com/weather. Like I said, powered by Michael Ryan Exteriors, roofing professionals, or download the RiverBender.com app today. We'll take a quick break. We'll come back, talk with Vitality, hang out a little bit, get this Wednesday started. You stay there, and I'll be here, RiverBender.com, Roku TV. Is it still raining out there? Let's take a look. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox, innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's Mike Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells, an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back, 9:22. A little bit behind schedule. 59 degrees in downtown Alton, in with Vitality Women's Clinic. Jackie Duty, the executive director, and Lori Saunders. I got everything right today. You know, even once in a while, I even mess up Jackie's intro. She is the center manager with Vitality, and you know, 18 years is what we were just talking about before we turned the camera on to us. And Jackie, it goes hand in hand really with what we were talking about. The first 2 segments is just the true tenure of, you know, so many individuals a part of Vitality like yourself, Lori, and just the passion that has to be there, you know, really for you to be around 2 decades almost.
Yeah.
You know, take me through, before we dive into anything, what's your experience been like with Vitality?
It's probably been the most fulfilling job I've ever had. So it's a calling. My background's radiology. So when I came there, I fell into an ultrasound position to learn the limited OB ultrasound that we offer.
Just fantastic. And, you know, Jackie, we were talking too in your time coming into Vitality, you know, you were saying how you're the newbie, you know, in a way, and kind of tongue-in-cheek. And you have a great team around you. And, you know, when you have someone like Lori with 18 years and individuals that have been through, you know, so many different things, it's got to make it a really a nicer transition for you, to say the least. And, you know, take me into this, because this is our first kind of getting started segment. We had the intro and we got going the last couple of times, but this is truly the first getting into the nuts and bolts of it all. Where should we start with all of it today?
You know, it really has been incredible. I have been, I do tell everyone I'm the newbie, and I tell them I really just started about a week ago and just found the bathhouse, you know.
I love it. It's just
that
great.
excuses all of my oops, you know. But it's so incredible when you have a team of people that are so dedicated and that are so good at what they do. It just makes it very easy. So I really just, you know, every week we just want to be here sharing stories of hope and, you know, good things happening in the community. But I really feel like to do a good service for the history of what this organization has done, I really needed help from the viewpoint of someone who's been in it for so many years. And I can't think of anyone better than Lori, who's been so dedicated for so many years. So I just kind of wanted her to share her heart and to kind of take us through, what happens when somebody walks in. But before we even dig into that, I want to hear about Lori, because she's amazing. And I can't say enough. Like, I could talk all day about how awesome she is, but I kind of just wanted everyone to get to know her, because I feel like she's one of those hidden warriors that's always been behind the scenes, never really had a chance to tell her story. So
Fantastic.
Cool. Well, I'm a mom. I'm a wife. I've been married 35 years. Have lots of kids. I birthed twins and then another one. And then we became foster and adoptive parents later.
Oh, wow.
And so part of my story is that I did have an unplanned pregnancy. I wasn't like a teenager. I was 25, but I was going through a divorce, trying to start a medical facility with a doctor friend of mine, and was like on the rebound and found myself pregnant. And I totally thought, I cannot have this baby. There's just no way. Shared that pregnancy with a doctor friend of mine who was, at that time, I did mammography. Shared the situation with her. She said, let's do an ultrasound and check your dates. And there were 2 heartbeats. I was like,
oh, wow.
Don't even tell me that. I really thought she was joking. She's like, no, there are 2 heartbeats. And it was just for me, it was a demarcation in my life. Like, am I going to trust God or not? And I was just like, okay, God, I've kind of made a mess of things doing this myself, and I'm going to trust you. I'd like to jump off a bridge, but I'm going to trust you.
Yeah.
So I did. And so those babies just turned 35, and I did end up marrying the friend of mine, who I loved. But, when you're in the rebound situation from divorce, you're just like mentally all over the place, emotionally all over the place. But anyway, God really gets the glory in that, and that touched our hearts, and, hasn't been easy, but it's part of who I am. And it became a real, point of, just clarity and even further passion when I learned the ultrasound piece, because, I could have easily thrown away 2 very amazing young men's lives. And so God had a plan, and it wasn't my plan.
Well, and I'm sure, and thank you for sharing that too. And, I'm sure whenever you're meeting with, women that are going through, maybe not the exact same scenario, but, a similar circumstance, the connecting piece has got to be better for everybody that's involved, especially as a woman in that situation to, and realize the person that's working with you has been in similar shoes and can understand. I'm sure it feels like a tough, isolated place at times.
Right.
Well, and how have you seen this grow? In your time, the 18 years, how have you seen Vitality, grow? I know there's been a name change too, and or 2.
Been through several.
But how have you seen the county and the region kind of support the service, or how have you seen the growth of it?
Yeah, the biggest piece of growth for us has been going more medical.
Okay.
So we provide the lab quality pregnancy tests, the ultrasounds, and the STD testing. Those pieces are all critical when you're in the decision-making process, and especially for a woman who comes in thinking abortion is the only answer for me. Like, I cannot see anything else. I'm so tunnel visioned on this isn't my plan. This isn't working for me. And so those medical services are really designed to help her through that decision-making process. And we're not there to pressure her. We're not here to judge her. We really just want to give her all the medically accurate information that she needs before she makes that decision.
Well, I think that's such an important note that you just made too, is the no judgment zone, because it really is, I think, so many times misinterpreted as just that, and like you said, giving us your story, and sharing us that, Lori, if it's for people to feel comfortable, whatever decisions made, at least that the treatment and the care is going to be there, and they're taken care of, and that's really the most important part of this whole piece. Right. Whenever you're working with someone, what's the most rewarding part of the job? Is it getting to see them flourish? Whether it's whatever decision they make in a couple of years, or is it seeing them really understand that there's a bigger picture here whenever they're in the room?
Gosh, there's so many things, because I've walked with women that have come through and chosen abortion, and we promise to be there emotionally for them afterwards. Yeah. And that's a huge rewarding piece when they come back and they're very classic PTSD type symptoms, and remembering that anniversary and like tormented really and cannot get past it. Not every single woman is affected that way, but by and large, so many are. And so that's huge when we can see them come through a transformative process of being able to receive forgiveness, not only from God, but from themselves, because that's usually the big hang up. Like, okay, I just can't forgive myself. But God's bigger than that. And what he did on the cross, was that enough for you? And what you did? Are you really saying God's not big enough to cover that sin? He is. So when they get that light bulb moment, that's huge too. I walked through women that have chosen adoption, not as popular as it was years ago. And so really trying to show them that it can be a beautiful thing, and that open adoption is usually best for birth mom and for baby, so they both know the whereabouts of one another, and you can be as involved in that decision or not, and the birth mom gets to pick the family, and it's so beautiful when they can walk that out together.
Well, I'm sure too. It's great for that individual to realize how many different options there are, also,
Right.
because just now, hearing of some of those different,
Mm-hmm.
different avenues you can go, it makes me feel a little bit at ease, and I'm not in that situation,
Mm-hmm.
yet. With that being said, Lori, take me through what that first experience looks like.
Sure.
At this point
Okay.
in time, if someone walks in, or makes that phone call, what's it look like?
Yeah. So we try to get them pretty quick, within a day or two, a week at the most. We can usually, accommodate some emergency appointments. And when they come in, they're first going to feel the waiting room's very warm. The colors are very chic but calming. And so I think she just feels cared for and loved. And we assure her that all of our services are free. They're confidential. She's going to meet with a patient advocate who is going to be either a trained staff or volunteer person. She's going to walk her through all the options, what's it look like if you parent, adoption, potential risks and side effects of an abortion procedure. What kind of support does she have, and how is she feeling about the pregnancy? What about the father of the baby? Is he going to be involved? Is he not involved? What's his belief system? Where is he at? And what other kind of support do you have? Then she's going to give us a urine specimen. We can test that urine for pregnancy and also for STDs. Again, that's important. If she's considering abortion, we need to know, does she have an infection? And we need to treat it before she makes that decision, hopefully. And then she's going to meet with a nurse. The nurse is going to go over medical, sexual health history, answer any and all of her questions she might have about that abortion procedure. Remember, we don't perform or refer for the abortion, but we do want her to be educated on what it is and what it is not. And does she have risk factors ahead of time that she needs to be aware of? And then we're going to do the ultrasound. The nurse is going to do the ultrasound so that we can answer 3 key questions. Is it a viable pregnancy? Is there heartbeat? Is it inside the uterus where it should be as opposed to outside the uterus, which would be like an ectopic pregnancy, which can be life-threatening? And then how far along is she? So that's all comes into play, especially when you're trying to make a decision about, am I going to have this baby or am I going to have an abortion? So all of those things we can answer for her. If we can answer it that day, like with viability, we'll bring her back in a week or 10 days to try to confirm the viability of the pregnancy.
When you're talking about, too, the support around the woman and also, the patient advocate, and it seems like to me those are some of the 2 most vital pieces of all this because, test results and all those things, of course, are important. But, to have the support and kind of the shoulder to lean on, especially if you're waiting 10 days or you're waiting a couple of days and maybe you've been in a situation where, there kind of are some risk factors there and you're a little nervous. Take me through the support staff aspect of that and on Vitality side, and then also on the flip side, how important it is just to be there for the individual that's, coming into the doors, if they're comfortable even telling us about it.
Yeah, sure. Well, that advocate is also going to offer her a holistic conversation.
Okay.
Like, is your faith important to you? Is that part of your decision-making process? Do you want to have a spiritual discussion? We're open for that. If not, we'll go back to talking about all the other things that she might have mentioned when she came in the door. Maybe it's financially. Maybe it's she's got a college scholarship waiting and she doesn't want to blow that. Maybe it's the boyfriend doesn't want to be a dad. All of those things. So we can talk through all of that with her. When she leaves that day, we're going to check on her in 24 to 48 hours, depending on her situation. Ask her, does she need further resources? Is she coming back for a follow-up appointment? And maintain that contact for as long as she wants. If she's choosing to parent and we confirm that pregnancy test that day and she wants to carry to term, then there's parenting classes that she can plug into right away. Currently those are online, and then it's kind of an earn while you learn system. Her support person or father of the baby can join her and then they get double the points. Then they can shop for the things that they need in our resource shop, like the diapers and the wipes and the clothing and the cribs and car seats, all of those things, because it does cost money, right, to have a baby and to parent. So we're well aware of that. But we truly are there to meet all of those women that are in those situations, no matter what walk of life they're in, no matter what their decision is. And some of them come to us and they know that they're going to parent, and that's fine too. We can see those, but we're really trying to meet those that are in that valley of decision before they make that decision.
Well, and I'm sure so many times that you hear how great it is just to have the questions and then it answered and the resources available just to really know. Because the unknown is so, scary.
Yeah,
and
very scary.
Jackie, I can see why it's so easy for you here at Vitality when you have folks like
I'll
Lori
tell you
over
what,
here.
I just come in and I grab some chocolate and I bring the donuts, I'm having a ball. I feel like I have learned so much just because the team is so phenomenal. I mean, it really does. From front to back, it's like we have a team that is so well versed and they're so committed with the right hearts to what we're doing. It's like they've made it really easy. So thank you.
Well, and that's really, before we take a quick break, here's the website. It's vitalityspeaks.net. We'll just go this way because I had to change it. We were doing a team meeting, so I had to zoom in the screen for everybody, and I can't fix it now. vitalityspeaks.net, but I can show you the donate tab here. That's where you can click if you guys can support. There's also ways that there's upcoming events to do so, but whether it's a general or a monthly donor, or if you just want to slap a couple of more zeros onto a 10 and make it a $10,000 donation, you can do that too. But really some great information on there, information for the parenting classes and all that good stuff on there too, right, Jackie?
Absolutely.
We'll take a quick break at 9:37. Come back, more Daily Show right after this.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
What's up? It's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache?
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back, Daily Show, 940. A little bit of change in with Vitality. Women's Clinic and Jackie Duty, Lori Saunders. Jackie is the executive director, Lori the center manager. And, we were talking during the break. This is the website for the clinic. It's vitalitywomensclinic.org. This is how, if you need services, you can go right here, vitalitywomensclinic.org, to make an appointment, pregnancy options, and learn more about the services provided, like the STI testing and treatment, the limited OB ultrasounds, pregnancy testing, and all the things that we were just mentioning. I think it's great that we're all talking about this today, though, and going to keep these series going just to, I think, break down maybe in case someone has a preconceived notion about, Vitality or anything. You guys are here just to support and create a loving network centered around a woman that's going through a tough spot potentially. And I think that's really important. And I think it's great to hear your story today, Lori, to, connect that with the potential patients a little bit more, but also to, going back into the clinic side of things real quick. What do you think? We talk about STI testing, we talked about this last week, because St. Louis is such a hotbed when it comes to STDs. Do you think that's been the biggest attribute to the brand or the organization in the last couple of decades? Has it been adding that testing, or has there been something else that you think that you guys have done that really has helped raise the bar too?
Medically, that's been a big draw. Helps you cast a wider net. And we have a very sexually at-risk population. So we see a lot of positives, and they need treatment. And so we're glad to offer that standalone service as well for women, the STI testing. Currently, we test for 4 things: chlamydia and gonorrhea. That's where we see the most positives. And then also HIV and syphilis. So those are a blood draw. So that's in addition to the urine testing that we can do. And then, like I mentioned before, very important, if you're considering abortion, that you have those tests run first before you make that decision.
Well, and, I'm sure that there's so many times where, the education side of things, if, you do get positives and you are pregnant, and talking about the proper steps and really just how to get healthy again. And I think that that's the best way. It's not a humiliation thing or anything. It's all about just taking care of ourselves and making sure you're supported.
Yeah,
I love that. I really love this segment because there's so many people that need to, I think, hear that in our area. And going into this, we have a chance to support what Vitality does all year long by coming down to the event on April the 10th, the Vision Dinner. And Jackie, you've made this a point. You were streamlining this. I don't know if you saw, but Jackie has made it a point to really go in and efficiently get this thing across. And I love it. It's going to be a great night with great food and also some really empowering, conversations. I'm sure too, right, Jackie?
Absolutely. We're avoiding having a real big keynote speaker. We just want to highlight stories from our community. I just think that as we really reframe how we position moving forward, we want to be so hyper local, so community focused. I think that's the key element this year, is that let's bring in the people that have had an impact or that have been affected by the center, and we want to hear their stories. So you're going to hear from some incredible people in the community that have been patients, that have been involved. We're excited. I think it's going to be an incredible night. You'll leave inspired, you'll leave filled with hope, and you'll be ready to be a deliverer of hope. Yeah. And that's the goal with what we're doing.
Well, and I like that you're going, like I said, more local with everything, because those stories really do, I think, hit more close to home and more close to us than anything else, because, you realize that, our struggles are sometimes shared struggles with our neighbors, and that there's, great organizations like Vitality now that really step to the plate. With that being said, you also have a kids coloring contest, correct?
We do. This is
By the way,
so
do you have WD-40 over there? Because this chair will not stop squeaking. I don't know what happened.
I might have something in my bag. I don't know. You just never. It's like the Mary Poppins bag. You never know what's going to come out of here.
I love this turtle.
Oh my gosh, this is so stinking cute. We found it and we were like, okay, this is our next. So we did a coloring contest in our holiday gift guide. When we did the Jingle and Bid, we had put out a magazine and we threw a little coloring contest in there, not knowing what it would become. And we had so many entries. We had promised to hand out one $25 Visa gift card. We actually had to hand out 2 because we couldn't decide. I mean, there were so many cute things that were brought in, anything from kindergarten up through, I think we got 8th grade. And so it was challenging. We had a team of people in the back office with like dozens of pictures everywhere, trying to go through and pick some of our favorites. So we're excited. We want to do this more often. It's just fun to hand out money in the community.
That's true.
So please, if you go to ourvitalityspeaks.net, you can, download this. We'll be putting it on our Facebook page, on our Instagram page. You can download the image or you can just stop by the clinic and pick up copies. Or if you have a group, maybe you want to take it to your school, I can bring as many copies as you need and hand deliver it as long as you're within a 45-minute drive. I'll bring it to you. So, we just want to see all the kiddos engaged because it's just fun. And I remember doing so many of these coloring contests when I was a kid. And I just recently came to the idea that, I'm going to start calling myself an artist. But it was because of things like this that you never know what seeds are planted as a child that can develop and push these kids to say, you know what, I'm an artist too. And I remember my first coloring contest that I won or something, so we want to do as many of these as we can, color it, bring it back to us. And on March 30th, we're going to be collecting all of them to do the drawings. So we'll announce it probably right before the dinner.
Fantastic. I like it. I like the turtle. I found
He's
it.
so cute.
You can enter to win that $25 Visa gift card, name, age, grade, contact phone number, and then P.O. Box 157, Godfrey, Illinois, 62035. Going back into the event, are you still looking for sponsorships?
I am. It's actually really exciting. Just yesterday, we got another sponsor.
Good.
So just to show some love here, I got to read out some of our sponsors that have come through. We've had 3 churches that have already stepped up: Faith Lutheran, Community Christian Church, First Christian Church in Alton, Liberty Bank. We've had OSF, St. Anthony's Healthcare, Quality Buick, GMC, Coat Plastics, Granny's Uniforms. And then we actually just had Odyssey come in, and they're a group of radio stations. So they have Y98, KEZK, KMOX, Hot 97. So we're kind of working on some cool things happening through there. So they're excited to be a part as one of our vital sign sponsor.
I love it.
So yeah, that's good stuff coming. And I'll tell you, I've had so many things on my desk in process. So over the next few weeks, we want to make sure we're dedicated to helping spread the word, share the stories of each of these companies. So if you're interested in sponsoring, please reach out. We're still in the process of building the magazines that you get the ads in, and we'll be shouting them out here live on RiverBender because RiverBender is awesome at reaching all the people. and RiverBender and Riverbank Marketing. And that's what's so great that, in having you guys as part of our sponsor, I mean, it's incredible. That's why I get so excited. It's these collaborations and these things that come together that help tell the stories that need to be told. And I feel like being a part of this and having you guys as a sponsor has been so powerful because it's really helping get the word out. So I tell everybody, if you need good advertising, you know where to go because here in studio.
I appreciate that. But it really is, I think, the best way to do it for what Vitality does is the more local you stay and really to show the impact that's being made each and every day. And I think we've all come to know, like the baby bottle, campaign. If we got the churches or private schools have done it, and I know I've did my entire life growing up. I feel like have the baby bottle campaign,
Cool.
but. On top of that, though, to hear just some of the different stories of success, but also just hearing of some of the work that's done in just the interactions. Because going into something, Lori, I wanted to ask you about before we wrap up is, take me through the mindset and the demeanor change of some of the patients that you encounter. I think that's where the most valuable part of the work that's done by Vitality is. Absolutely. Because, the medical work is fantastic and the resources are great, but I'm sure you get individuals that are in, pure crisis, to say the least. And, take me through the training or just the time and the effort that needs to be there to truly meet somebody where they're at when, maybe 2 and 2 just doesn't equal 4.
Right. Yeah, so most of the time when you're in an unplanned pregnancy, you're coming in very fearful, very afraid, you're very confused, you can't think straight, you just need a moment to pause and have somebody listen, and you need somebody to take you through. There are 3 options: parenting, adoption, and abortion. Let's talk about those things. Let's talk about what is heaviest on your mind. What 2 are they all 3 on the table, or is one of them off the table? What do we really need to hit at? And we believe that also just empowering them with all those medical services gives them all that accurate information that they need before they make that decision. They have to know how far along they are. They have to know, is it viable? Is it going to end in miscarriage in another week or two? Then you don't need to go through with that abortion procedure. And we can follow you by ultrasound and make sure that that's happening, and then refer you out to a OBGYN in the community if you need more care. So it's great when they leave and they really know what they're going to do. But we share all the options because we know that sometimes how you feel today isn't going to be how you feel in 2 weeks or in 2 months. So, the guy can walk out of the picture. You can lose college support or parental support that you think you had. So that's why we want them to, hear the options, know that we're here if they need to come back. Or we're going to follow up with you to see if you need further resources. And so that happens a lot. Yeah. So, it can be a roller coaster of emotions. I'd like to say they always leave and they're happy, but sometimes they're still in a state of undecidedness, and that's okay because it takes some time and it's a huge decision, and no matter what you choose, it impacts you for life.
Well, absolutely. And that's why I think it's interesting and really just valuable to hear that your perspective on it, because I'm sure, just like you said, bending the ear and just being the kind of wall just to absorb the information sometimes is the best thing. Well, and also just to hear the follow-up, because you're right, it could change in 2 weeks, it could change in a month, 2 years, but just to have the opportunity to say, hey, there's still Vitality to call her, there's still Lori or Jackie or whoever down there to give a ring to. There's going to be support.
Right.
Fantastic. Anything else to talk about for right now, Jackie?
Not right now. I mean, I'm just excited. I feel like
this was a good one.
Yeah, this is just the beginning, and I feel once you get over the next several weeks, you're going to meet board members, you're going to meet some of our other staff, you're going to meet some patients. We want to just kind of flood, with stories, because and this is what's so incredible is that everybody has a story to tell. Everyone has had these moments of impact, and it's what you choose to do after those moments of impact that define all your tomorrows. So if we can help empower people, knowing that maybe you're going through something, there's someone that's been through something similar. So there's hope. Yeah. And if we can share those stories of hope, that's what we want to do.
Fantastic. Well, seriously, thank you both for stopping by. I'm excited to see you back here next week. And Lori, I know I'll see you sometime soon back here in the studio.
Thank you for having me.
We'll take a quick break at 9:52. You can find out more about Vitality and how you can contribute at vitalityspeaks.net, and for the coloring contest and dinner. Also, if you need, or someone that needs medical services, though, or help, VitalityWomen'sClinic.org. That's VitalityWomen'sClinic.org. We'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. It's 9:53, a little bit of change. You stay there, and I'll be back in the studio to wrap up the
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Coming up to 10 o'clock in downtown Alton, here's what you need to know. Download the RiverBender.com app today. Join myself and tens of thousands in the know. Here's what we're following. Make sure you sign up for the daily email update as well so you'll never miss out with your daily dose of everything local and with our partnership with the Associated Press. National, statewide news all at the touch of a button. We'll take you right to Alton first. The Alton Police Department did respond after a student on a school bus traveling in the city placed an emergency call. Officers located the bus near State Street and 4th Street and spoke with the student who did make that report. According to Alton Police Chief Jarrett Ford, after investigating, police determined there was no actual emergency despite what was initially reported. Chief Ford said the situation was safely resolved and emphasized that the students were not in danger at any point during the incident. Police did not release additional details about why the student made that call. Austin McCluskey of Bunker Hill, along with his fiancée and their 3 children, are rebuilding after a house fire on March the 6th that destroyed their home and belongings. Organizer Kristen Daly launched a GoFundMe to help the family secure temporary housing and replace essential items. Daly said the fire took everything in minutes, including clothing, furniture, and irreplaceable personal possessions. While the family safely escaped, they were left starting over with nothing. Donations go toward immediate needs as they begin recovery. Daly encouraged community support, noting every contribution can make a meaningful difference. That link to the GoFundMe available at RiverBender.com/news. Women's health access and policy were in focus at SIUE on March the 2nd. The Illinois Department of Public Health partnered with State Representative Katie Stewart for a community information session. It was held at the Morris University Center. The event connected residents and with the state program supporting maternal health, reproductive services, preventative care, including outreach and underinsured families. Stewart outlined initiatives now moving through the General Assembly, including workplace protections for nursing mothers, expanded access to menstrual hygiene products, better insurance coverage for hormone therapies, and pharmacy-based contraception. Proposals also include lowering the recommended age for routine mammograms and strengthening maternal health support statewide. Also in the news, Glen Carbon is moving closer to building its own water treatment plant after the village board unanimously approved a resolution authorizing a notice of intent to award the project bid to Cordy Lita Wohan Contractors, Inc., pending Illinois EPA approval. The contractor submitted the lowest of 6 bids at $16.4 million, coming in well below expectation. Officials also cited a $1.1 million federal grant secured earlier this year, though the money may not arrive before a bid award. With current funding, rate hikes of 15% in 2027 and 28 may be needed. IEPA review could conclude by April. We'll keep you updated on the progression of the water treatment plant build as it emerges through City Council and the red tape on RiverBender.com/news. Let's take a look at weather. 56 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 58 today. Cloudy, windy, and cooler with periods of rain and a thunderstorm potentially this morning. Then a leftover shower. Tonight, windy this evening. And then clear to partly cloudy. It will be much colder than what we've been seeing here the last couple of weeks. Air quality right now at 44 and mold is low at 3250. Tree levels are still high at 750. The rain hasn't helped that much. Today, temperatures reach 57 degrees, drop down to 30 overnight as we head into Thursday. On Thursday, a high of 54, a low of 45, no rain in the forecast. On Friday, the 13th, cloudy skies, a high of 58, a low of 36 degrees. And then on Saturday, partly sunny skies, a high of 57, a low of 48 degrees. And then on Sunday, a high of 64, a low of 27, and that's a look at the next 5 days. Here's what's happening now. 56 degrees in downtown Alton. It feels like 58 out there. Hey, protect your home all year round with Michael Ryan Exteriors, the roofing professionals. They handle siding, roofing, gutters, and repairs for Metro East homeowners. If you were just impacted by those storms that rolled through this morning, they've been tried and true for over 20 years throughout the region, and they can take care of your home exterior with a craftsman touch at Michael Ryan Exteriors, LLC, the roofing professionals right here in the heart of the 618. You can go to RiverBender.com/weather and get a free quote today, or just stop by their website and don't forget to tell them that CJ sent you over their way. 10:02. We'll come back with more Daily Show on a Wednesday. No Lacy today. We're going to talk to her on Friday. She was needing to reschedule. But coming up still, Sleep in Heavenly Peace. We're going to be talking to the founder of the national group and getting all the details on just how it started and how chapters like the Alton and Riverbend Sleep in Heavenly Peace group are making such big contributions to the national organization. All that and more in the 10 o'clock. You stay there. I'll be here. It's our Daily Show on RiverBender.com.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation. Welcome back. 10:21, a little bit of change on this 20th day of February, your Friday morning in downtown Alton continues on RiverBender.com on Roku TV. I'm really excited to go pick up my damn hairspray today. It's been a week, and we're getting through it, though. Suzanne joins us now. The Art for Breakfast Club coming soon. And we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and it's really cool to hear your background in the arts, and then also your passion for it, and really your passion for community, too.
Right.
So fill us all in. What is the Art for Breakfast Club all about?
Well, first, thank you. It's always awesome to talk to you. It's just fun. But
first time on camera.
Yeah. Where do I look? Anyway, the Art for Breakfast Club, the idea that I had was to put together in a room like-minded people, because people that are artists love to talk to other artists.
Right.
And so the whole idea is to once a month bring together people in a room and do an art talk. So not like the art walk, but I call it the art talk. And so I posted that out there on Facebook, and I said, hey, who is be interested in doing this? I got so many messages, a lot of enthusiasm for right here in this area.
Well, and you were telling me too that you even had folks from across the world really reaching out, a couple of different countries represented too.
That's exactly right. I have 3 artists from other countries, and they'll be on Zoom.
That's
and
cool.
We'll see how that goes. The atmosphere, the whole vibe will be almost like sitting around your living room with friends.
Well, and now that's what I find really just so fascinating about this, because it really does bring back, that really just the cozy atmosphere that really you can get comfortable in the creative process with too. Take me through what the art talk will look like, if you could envision one.
And good point on the arts. The art talk will be a combination of things. So you know how in a gallery experience, you go into a gallery and it's awesome. It's like a candy store.
Yeah.
And I can feel all these things and see all this art, and I can purchase the art. And so I'm focusing on the space between. So I kind of consider the talk like an inside-out art gallery, where we're not talking about the experience of from when the artist signed the page and gifted or showed their work, but the space between when you came up with the idea and then when you signed it.
Yeah.
So a deeper dive in.
Well, and I think it's it's a great opportunity to have individuals from all different aspects of their journey in art, whether it's a full-on career that's established and life's great, or if we're just getting going, or, we kind of just picked it back up again. To have those different perspectives, I think, would really make for a cool conversation and really just a great group.
I think so too, and thanks for saying that. I think that's a great point. I consider it like you put a group of artists in a room, and it's like you dropped a drop of blue ink on a wet page. It just explodes with creativity and connectivity. So to your point on the community feel, art's becoming a great thing around here. There's 6 or 7 galleries right now. I moved away in the 80s and came back less than 2 years ago. And I love Jacoby Art Center. There's all these things going on. And so in a nice balance, besides showing or selling the art, it's neat to bring the artists together and be a little bit of a heartbeat. And again, deeper dive into where was your head?
Well, and I think it helps everyone get a better understanding for their own art, too, because I'm sure there's always going to be takeaways that you can use for your own pieces.
Absolutely. I love that, and it's true. And that's where a lot of your power of passion comes from.
Well, and we, yesterday we were sitting up at the conference table, and, we kind of were on the same, we are on the same page, because I think Alton's in a mini renaissance in a way, because there's a lot of different mediums that are really just exploding right now, it seems like, and it's really cool to have a community that has that feel, but to really capitalize on it, and not to really necessarily start, your own gallery, but really just to bring everybody together to enhance it is, I think, the best way to describe what you're trying to do.
I think it's a great way to describe it. And I kind of compare it, CJ, to if you're a golfer, you like to talk to other golfers, right? Like not everybody wants to hear about what loft of wedge you're using,
It's true.
So it is true. So anyway, same with art. There's nothing like talking to someone who looked at a Michelangelo and decided they wanted to frame their pictures this way.
Yeah.
Or so it won't be just local or about necessarily the art. It's more about the person.
Yeah.
And about the masters as well. So it'll be fun to talk about the Caravaggios, the Titians, the Gauguins. On it goes.
Well, and I'm sure too,
so much more. The inspiration doesn't necessarily, and I'm not in the, I don't practice, I'm not an artist, but
you can still love it.
You can. And to me though, if you're an artist and really involved, it's the piece is great always, but to me it's like getting to know the person behind it is so much more where the inspiration comes from, not necessarily what they created, but what led up to the creation that made them feel that way.
I think so too. It gives the art sort of more personal face, because the interpretation when you walk in is what you interpret.
Yeah.
And it's fun to meet the artists, but wow, what about talking to a lot of them and do some community things as well?
Fantastic. And now take me through your background and your career a little bit with art, and just to familiarize everybody that wants to join up and get to know you more.
Okay. So I studied art my first year at Blackburn. Then I went to Eastern, studied art, and then I decided I would move to California and be an artist.
There you go.
So after being a waitress for a little while and the things you do, I got a job in Glendale, California, near Burbank, for a publishing company. So I worked for them doing paste up and graphic design and the stuff that isn't your soul and all. But eventually I became the art director, and they used a couple of my paintings for the cover of their magazine.
Oh, wow.
And so I really felt like, wow, this was amazing. And then I kind of moved on to sales, but art's always there. You're always an artist. It's not what you do, it's who you are.
Right.
And so over the years, posted some things, sold some things, gifted a lot, and recently got my certificate to be an art therapy practitioner. And I'm just excited to be part of the community. So,
well, and I'm glad it's just nice to see the excitement. And you were saying that you already spoke to a few people just about, what that expansion could look like once the group gets going. And there's a lot of excitement about this.
I agree. I talked to Stephanie down at the Wedge, and we're looking to grow it to that style of a venue. But originally it's going to be who can come, and forming these pieces together cohesively about how often, probably once a month.
Yeah.
But where do we want to change venues? I've reached out to a lot of different places, and everybody says the same thing. Yes.
That's a good problem. That's a good problem to have.
Right? So I'm really enjoying that.
Why don't we do this? It's 10:28, a little bit of change on this Friday morning. We'll come back, chat it up a little bit more. The first installment of the Art for Breakfast Club comes our way in April. We'll get details and all the fun stuff after this one.
You're the best.
At Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu, we help students of all ages build confidence, discipline, and real-world strength. Join a supportive community that challenges you to grow both on and off the mat. Experience the art of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a 7-day free trial at our new location. Call 618-795-2692 or visit altonelite.com to start your journey today. Train hard, serve others, live elite at Alton Elite Jiu-Jitsu. When you need a project done right, on budget, and on time, trust Gillahan Concrete. Gillahan handles every kind of project, big and small. Commercial, industrial, residential, from room additions and garages to patios, driveways, and more. Gillahan brings quality and experience to every job. Family owned with over 30 years of service to our community. Call today at 618-781-3914 or visit GillahanConcrete.com.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today. Show. Back in with Suzanne. How are you doing?
How was the break for you?
It was a blast.
So, the Art for Breakfast Club Facebook page is officially online. You guys can start liking it now by going right here on your screen and checking it out that way. I like it. And Art for Breakfast Club on Facebook, like it. And so that would be a good place for folks to reach out about joining up and all that fun stuff.
That's right. I put it out there. I expected maybe 1 or 2 people to come back and reach out, but messages have been fantastic, and the excitement, the boil for it. And then I realized, you know what, CJ? I don't know every artist in Alton, right? And Godfrey and all these surrounding St. Louis, whomever. And so I thought, you know what? Let's kick this really off by talking to CJ at RiverBender.
We'll get it done for you.
Thank you.
Well, I think it's just a really cool opportunity for so many people to join up and just be a part of something, again, bigger than ourselves a little bit, because you're helping empower other artists and you're really getting something for yourself too at the end of the day.
Sure, absolutely.
We were going into break. What would you want to highlight the most when it comes to the club, and then the other opportunities coming down the pipeline?
Okay, I would say what I'd want to highlight is starting in April, you know, come to the meetings and get rolling, bring your heart and soul, and let's just celebrate you being an artist. We're really lucky.
What do we need to bring with us?
You don't have to bring anything.
Oh, there you go. I like it.
Yeah, come on.
Well, and now, when should we just stay tuned to the Facebook for the official venue and all of that fun stuff too?
Please do. Keep checking on Facebook. Log in, check it out, and I will have within the month here the time and the date for April. Everybody can message me or on the page weigh in about when would be ideal for them. We'll try to accommodate everybody best we can.
Fantastic. And we were talking yesterday about just the potential that this group could have, and it could be presentations and all these other opportunities. If everything aligns first, a couple of months, and man, you're off and rolling. Where would you like to see this go within a year?
Well, within a year would be really amazing to put together a booklet of our art.
Yeah.
So, and put that together for people to view, and maybe have together, we think tank on a nice piece to write about that, maybe the input of the other artists or whatever, but also to have a nice community hug here and do some things in the community. So
I heard that a mural of me was on the horizon.
That was probably first.
What's been the best part of being back in Alton?
I would say connecting again with family and friends. That's for sure.
Meeting with you the first time, it was so fun because you really did have the night of reconnecting. Or the afternoon, we stood at each other, and it was so cool to just hear you back into town and just loving every bit of it, and everyone loving that you were back.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Just saw so many people, and when you first get back, you're like, wow, I haven't seen you. It's just amazing. But I would say that's a great thing. And another, CJ, would be to reappreciate the town. So when you're going through high school, you're walking through the halls, you don't even notice the amazing river view and the bridge. When you come back for a reunion, you're like, wow, we had that every day. And so just to reappreciate a lot of things about the town.
That's so cool. Well, we'll link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com, including on ways that you can reach out to Suzanne and be a part of all the fun with the Art for Breakfast Club. And the first meeting coming soon,
April-ish, probably third week.
Date pending.
Yeah.
That's a tease in the radio business. Right. Anything else to talk about for right now?
No, I think you're amazing, and thanks for having me.
We'll take a quick break, and we'll come back and learn all about True North Aesthetics. They had a great Valentine's Day event.
Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Lennox system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells.
An assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back, Daily Show 1023. Good to see you. Getting ready to have our conversation with Sleep in Heavenly Peace. Really excited to have that. A couple of updates for you on the storm. Chris Rhodes has the latest. The National Weather Service in St. Louis are sending officials to Morrow today after storm damage in the area left a home on Field Drive with its roof completely removed. It snapped large trees at their bases and flattened a grain silo about a half-mile southwest of that home. Photos available at RiverBender.com to see the damage of that storm. Brad Charbonneau, lead meteorologist for the National Weather Service in St. Louis, said that the team will investigate whether the damage was caused by a tornado in Morrow. Here's what he had to say. There was fairly substantial damage in various places throughout the southwestern Illinois region from the storm. We can't confirm yet whether any of the storms were tornadoes, but our survey team is out today and will have some findings, hopefully by the end of the day. That was the end of his quote. Directly near the home on Field Drive, what appeared to be an old barn was dismantled about a half-mile southwest. The grain silo also flattened
and other trees were down. There were known injuries. There were known injuries at this time from the damage. There might be a typo in there. We'll keep you updated on that here in a few seconds. I want to take you to this video that Chris Rhodes got for us here on the scene, and we'll do that here for you now. As you see, just our pre-roll advertisement playing, but I want to make sure that we can get as much as that as we can in there on the screen here as we have to adjust. But that is the footage from Chris Rhodes. That's that tornado, or that possible tornado damage. You can see at least some very strong winds, to say the least, as crews are already working there in Morrow. Chris Rhodes from RiverBender.com on the scene there as crews picking up debris from trees snapped at their bases. What they're saying are very large trees. You can see them right there snapped right at the base. And that roof completely torn off that home. And just glad that it seems like everyone is okay for the most part. We're going to keep you updated, though, on that, because there was a little bit of a discrepancy in that article, and we want to clarify that for you. There's a wider shot of that home that was gone through on that storm. And like I said, National Weather Service officials are out there today to make sure to see if that was an actual tornado, a confirmed one, and more damage there. As you see, an old shipping container there on its side, and a wider shot and a further shot away from that home suffering damage today. Chris Rhodes on the scene for RiverBender.com. It's 10:26, a little bit of change. While I have you, let me fill you in on Precision TMS. You know, it's a great thing when we can talk about ways to help ourselves, and especially when it comes to, you know, mental health and, you know, making sure we're doing the best we can. And if you're somebody that's been down the path, if you have, you know, depression or an OCD, and, you know, you've taken the, you know, pharmaceutical medications, but they just aren't really working for you, or maybe they're working, they combat the major issues that you're going through, but they kind of make you feel like you're not really yourself. You know, it's been a couple of years now, maybe it's been, hell, decades, or it's something new for you. And that's where Precision TMS really comes into play, and they really give you above and beyond care. You know, Precision TMS, this is a great group. Tom is all about just this procedure. TMS is FDA cleared, and it's backed by major insurance providers. What I think's great is we're hearing from patients all the time from Precision. They've been on the show, and some of these individuals are veterans that served our country with the utmost honor, and some of the things that they saw on the front lines to come home with, and, you know, dealing with PTSD, and, you know, just hearing how, and depression and all the side effects that come with that, and hearing how Precision TMS just really helped them. And I don't want to say, you know, and they made it clear, it's not like you see the world in sunshine and rainbows and it just miraculously happens. I mean, just driving down the road and you realize, wow, I'm singing to the radio again, or I'm actually living in the moment with my family again. I'm not just thinking about all the worries in the world, or I'm not just thinking about all these things that are going on internally. You're back to life. And that's what I think Precision is so invaluable for. And if you're a first responder, a teacher, a veteran, a nurse, you name it, they have a Heroes program that they will help you help yourself with some discounts on that service. But just go to PrecisionTMS.org and really start getting the help you need. And really, what I want to make a big point on too is that it's not shock therapy. It's really the most efficient, and how do I say this, the least invasive procedure I can talk about on the show, because you're driving yourself to your appointments. You know what I'm saying? You're going there, and it takes about 15, 20 minutes once you really get going into your sessions, and then you're driving yourself back. I mean, you aren't clockwork oranging it up, so to speak. You're really just in there getting some magnetic stimulation, and you're heading home. Within a couple of weeks, you're seeing that change. You're seeing that rewiring take place. You can learn more at PrecisionTMS.org. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Oh, looks like Seattle out there. 10:32. Daily Show. Really excited for this conversation. Luke Mickelson joins us now, the founder of Sleep in Heavenly Peace, an organization that really we know so much about here in just the Riverbend area because of the local chapter's work that they've done. It's been really great to see. And Luke, thanks for joining us here on the show. Glad to have you.
Oh, my pleasure, CJ. Appreciate you having me.
Well, and, really couldn't overstate it, how much of an impact that the Sleep in Heavenly Peace organizations had just right here at home. And we spoke on the phone a couple of minutes a few days ago just about, the eye-opening situation at hand whenever you really encounter this and you realize, that this problem is right here in our own backyard and there are children that don't have just a bed to sleep on.
Yeah. That's, again, thank you for having me on because this is, it's one of those topics I can only imagine listeners driving in their car right now, and just him-hawing, getting ready to work or what, it's one of those topics where when you first hear it, you almost dismiss it, right? Because it's like, oh, child bedlessness, right? I don't know if it sinks in. I know I've probably heard or thought of people when, back in the day where a kid may be sleeping on the floor, but you don't really pause enough, right? Yep. And take enough time to go, wait a minute, did you just say they're sleeping on the floor? Like, and that was my experience, when I didn't know child bedlessness was a real thing. Even the word bedlessness isn't even a real word, but it's a real problem. And like I said, when I first heard it, it almost skipped over me. I was in a leadership group. We were talking with other leaders of my church, and we were helping families in the small town that I lived in. And she talked about this one family that we were helping with, rides to school and work and food, and the kids didn't have any beds and they needed bikes. And then I was like, whoa, 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 wait a minute. Did you just say they didn't have any beds? I mean, it was that.
Wow.
I almost missed it,
Yeah. Well, and see, that's where, when I first heard of the chapter here, that's kind of what happened to me, where it's, you hear of, I hate to say it, but the international causes, if you will, there's, children that don't have beds to sleep on. I wouldn't think of it in my own backyard until you see the stats and all these individuals that are coming together and building all these and seeing that there's still a need, and it doesn't go away.
Well, and that was like the biggest shocker to me, when growing up in a small town, right? You're just used to helping people. Because the worst thing about the small town living is the same thing that's the best part about it is everybody and they know you, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes too much. But it's that was just a sense that you had. You just helped people, right? And when this problem came up, and when I realized, or I didn't even realize, I just had a family in my community that had kids sleeping on the floor, and you're like, you know what, we can take care of that. I was a leader. I was what was called a young men's president in my church. I was a leader over the boys group, which was about ages 12 to 17, right? And I was responsible for the leadership growth, the spiritual growth, but mostly the activities during the week, which was basically Boy Scouts, right?
Mm-hmm.
At the time. This is 14 years ago. Well, anyways, finding an activity that's fun for these kids to do that doesn't have a screen or a computer game or a control. You know what I'm talking about? That's not an easy thing nowadays. And when I heard about this, I first thought about my own kids sleeping on the floor. What would that be like?
Yeah.
And how hard that would be day in and day out. And then I thought, you know what? Here's a great opportunity to get an Xbox controller out of these boys' hands and put a drill and and some tools in it, and teach them how to build a bed. I'd never built one before, but I'm a farm kid from Idaho. We'll figure it out, right? And that's what we did.
Well,
and we had such good fun watching these kids build this bed. I know that they were excited about it because of what it was going to go to, right? Helping a couple of kids in their own communities. But it brought a sense of. And what I hoped it did for the kids was bring the sense of joy and fulfillment that comes when you serve people,
1,000%. And, just to tie it, even I keep going back to this only because of just the shared, story that I hear is that there's so many people that have done builds that they've never even touched, really a power tool before, and that's what I think so cool about this. And and that's what I kind of going back into it, the valuable lesson there for the children that in that group that you're helping start with build those beds the first time, and then servicing others, of course, and being there for your community. But also I think it goes further than that, and I'm sure you hit on this too, is, it's no different than a builder. My grandpa is an old sewer guy. He's cleaned everyone's sewer in town, but he can drive by every house and tell you the story about from 1975 when it happened. And think about, to me, the stories that those young individuals have, those young men that, they can take with them, or now women and anyone across the country, that all comes back to, hey, remember when we built those beds? And I think that is such a cool conversation. Did you imagine this developing into to what this was?
Not even close. I mean, who dreams that kind of stuff, right? This was really only a family Christmas project. In fact, before with the Boy Scouts, right, it was just a week project we did, right?
Wow.
But after it was all done, and I didn't get to go on the delivery of it because there's too many people that wanted to be a part of it. It just the word kind of got out, and everybody thought it was a neat thing. Well, I didn't get to go on the delivery, and I was excited for the boys. Don't get me wrong. It was great for them to experience that, but I felt a little jealous myself not be able to go on it. And, here I was, this is a couple, 3 weeks before Christmas, and we just built this bed for this family. It was awesome. And now I'm sitting on the couch with my kids, and they're starting to complain about the Christmas presents they know I'm not going to buy. I mean, it's just this whirlwind of dad moments that, you're sitting here going, my gosh, if you knew what I just did, if you understood what I just did and what the Boy Scouts did and how they felt, and then it just hits me, CJ. I'm like, why don't I get my butt off the couch right? And provide that same experience for my kids. You know,
Yeah.
that's what I wanted. And, you know, next thing you knew, I stood up, I walked to the garage door, and my kids, we were watching our favorite program, Big Bang Theory, back in the day, you know? and they're like, Dad, where are you going? And I said, you know what? I've got leftover wood. I'm going to build another bunk bed, and you're going to come and help me. So we had a great time. You know, I wanted this experience for my kids so they can appreciate the joys of giving back and the fulfillment feelings that come from that, as well as understand and appreciate the things that they did have, like a bed, for crying out loud, you know. But once we built it, I had no idea what to do with it. I didn't know child bedlessness was a thing. I had solved the one problem I knew in my town, so, you know, hooray.
Right.
But now we had this bunk bed, and I didn't know what to do with it. And you know, a friend of mine said, why don't you post it on one of the buy sell trade groups on Facebook? And so I did. And that's when, CJ, that's when I realized, okay, child bedlessness is a real thing. I had so many people comment on this post about kids that they knew. And then they talked about the conditions that they were sleeping in. I mean, this is the first time I read the conditions, which was really shocking. You know, pallets, kids sleeping on pallets, sleeping on their clothes, sleeping on hardwood floors, you know, 3 or 4 in the same bed. It was just really overwhelming what these kids were sleeping on.
Well, and that's, you know, it goes into such a larger point whenever you're able to provide, you know, something as simple as, you know, a bed. And to me, you know, that's where I think every time I talk about this group, you know, Luke, it's as simple as a bed, but it's so much more valuable than that, because as parents, I mean, hell, if anyone's ever been in a struggle and you're trying to keep the lights on and you're getting notices or whatever happens with life, we aren't here to judge. We're just here to help, you know? Yeah. And so whenever you have that, where an organization says, hey, here's these beds to get your kids back off the floor, you know, I just think of the morale boost, you know, and just that couple of minutes of joy for that family. Can you take me through what you've been able to experience just with some of these deliveries, and also the team building that's done on the flip side of this for this as well?
100%. You know, where the rubber met the road for me, or where my heart changed for this, you know, to be a part of building a bed is great for a child. Well, and for you too, right? But I wanted this bed that me and my kids built to go to something that was very special, very needed, certainly a child. Well, a friend of mine called me up and said, hey, Luke, have you delivered that bed yet? And I said, no, why, what you got? And she worked in the social services sector. She was helping transitioning homelessness and things of that nature. She said, I've got the perfect family. And this is my Haley story. So Haley was a 6-year-old girl that had never slept on a bed. And that was the first time I ever heard of a child that old that had never slept on a bed. She slept in the backseat of her mom's car. They were homeless. And so my friend obviously helped them get a house. And so I was really excited to bring her first bed, and we wanted to surprise her, right? So we showed up, and you can imagine what the house looked like, right? You know, it's government-assisted housing. It's not the greatest thing on the planet, right? But was shocking when I walked into this. It was probably the first time I walked into my life in this type of situation, where I looked at it through the eyes of a 6-year-old. Right? Because that's who we were there to serve. And,
yeah.
You know, when you do that, you kind of like realize, hey, there's no couch or TV to watch cartoons in the morning. There's no table to eat, you know, your Fruit Loops on. You know, you start picturing what life would be like as a small child. And it's humbling, you know. And they didn't have anything. There was nothing in the house. And I leaned down a little Haley and I said, hey, why don't you show me where your bedroom is? And she was super excited. You know, she's never had one before.
Yeah.
And so they had lived there, I don't know, a couple weeks before we got there. But so they pulled us back in her room, and you can imagine what that looked like. You know, holes in the carpet and tears in the wallpaper. I mean, it was just a rough situation. But the most shocking thing was, in the corner of the room was a pile of clothes. And that's where Haley slept. She'd come home from school, you know, put her PJs on, sleep on her school clothes, and then put them back on and go to school. And I'd never seen that before. I was really shocked. It almost made me mad at first.
Yeah,
right.
I bet.
This is going on in my hometown? Heck no. Right.
Right.
But then we started bringing in the bed and putting it together. And I kind of watched little Haley, how, you know, see when she finally figured out what we were doing. And when she did, she just erupted. I mean, she came over and hugged these 2 strange dudes in her room. And then she did something CJ had never seen before. She actually went and hugged and kissed the bed. And if that wasn't enough to just melt your heart, right?
Yeah.
then you look up and here's mom, 6 years of tears pouring down the single mom's face. And I was raised by a single mom too, so I knew what those tears meant. It was it was overwhelming, and I remember thinking right then, this is way more than just a bed. This is way more than just a good night's sleep. These kids are struggling. If you think about it, if I tell everybody, listen, just stop for a minute and just contemplate and think, what would it be like as a kid, small kid like that, or even a teenager, not to sleep on a bed? You're waking up. Just think of physically. You're waking up sore and grumpy, and you're not ready for school, and you're not ready to make good friends, and you're going to get good, bad grades, and and there's always an attitude issue, and there's always that's just the physical side of things. Then you look at the emotional, the psychological side of things, the social side. These kids can't have sleepovers, or they're going to their friend's house, and their friend not only has a bed, but they got freaking throw pillows, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's just one of those things where psychologically that can't help. And then you and I, CJ, and everybody out there, when we have a bad day, work was hard, or lost a client, or fought with someone, or worse yet, you got the flu, right? Tell me, anybody out there, tell me, what is the one place on the planet that you just want to crawl into, right?
Or yeah.
And it's your bed. These kids don't have that.
Well, and Luke, that's where I just find to me the response that is shown for the recipients is, I think, is always going to be the hair raising moment, because it really brings everything back into perspective. Because you could, I'm sure, build 100 beds, but the 101st delivery, it's still going to hit you the same way whenever you see a child really react to it. The thing that I'm fascinated about is, I just wanted to explore this a little bit more, if it's okay, is it seems like you're pretty passionate about, your faith. And I want to know how this helped you. Did it help you grow in your faith with this organization, and how you've built it, number one? And then the follow-up to that I'll just ask you is, were you surprised to see fellowship take off through this, because it serves dual purposes, this organization? I mean, how many times we get stuck in our own egos and silos, and we hear about it at church on Sunday and go, oh, that's a great idea, and then we forget about it by the time Monday rolls around. But it just, I mean, man, this really does tackle two sides of a really important issue.
It does. We tell people, look, we solve child bedlessness. That's our mission. That's our main point. What we didn't realize we were also solving was, a condition I didn't know existed, and that is, there are millions of people out there like you and I. They want to give back, they just don't know how, right? Or they can't find the one niche or the one fulfilling service that really, like for me, fills my coffers up. And that was a wonderful thing to realize. And we actually teach our chapter presidents, listen, this is just as much important for the volunteer experience as it is for the child getting a bed. Because if it's not a good experience, if people don't feel fulfilled and feel like they're needed, which is the biggest thing, right? Then they're not going to show up. And if they don't show up, we don't build beds. And so it's really a beautiful thing to see how they all come together in one. And that's kind of the fun of it. We're not affiliated with really any religion, right? We don't want to be, for not because we're not religious people. We're most of SHP is very Christian based, and but there are some atheists. There are some different religions, different political point of views, of course, all sorts of different things. But the beauty of that is, when you come to Sleep in Peace, no one cares. No one sits. It's not about, hey, what do you believe, or what do you think, or who'd you vote for? This is 100% about, what? Where's the next kid? Where's that next piece of wood to put together? And that's where I always say true joy comes from service, and it comes from following your heart. And you asked me a very interesting question. Has this built my faith? In a way, yeah, because when I started this, I was going through a faith crisis. I didn't know what I believed anymore. I'd been in one religion my whole life. I served a mission for 2 years for it, and served very, very faithfully. But then I'm sitting here going, I don't know what I believe much anymore, right? And the thought hit me when I was doing this Christmas project, if you will. The thought hit me and says, you know what, Luke, it doesn't matter. At least right now to me, it doesn't matter what religion I believe in, or what God you believe in, or what God you don't believe in. The fact that you're helping kids receive a bed, I don't care what God you believe in. that's the right thing to do. You know what I'm saying? And so it just made it easy. And that actually helped me firm up some really big doubts I had about me and about God and about what maybe the next steps for me in life are. So
well, and it's just really interesting to get that perspective, and thank you for sharing that too with us. And as we keep progressing, we have about 5 minutes left. I wanted to ask you about the first chapters kind of popping up, and how that kind of how that evolved. When did you get to a point where everyone says, "Hey, I'd like to start something like this," over in my neck of the woods? Is that how it happened, or was this something that was pre-planned on your end?
Well, of course, it wasn't pre-planned, it very organic, right? The more we shared on Facebook and showed people what we were doing, two things happened. The more people want to get involved, which was just blew me away, right? I remember going, oh my gosh, these people want to come on a cold Saturday morning in Idaho and in the wintertime and build beds with this crazy kid, that was cool, and then the more kids we obviously found out were sleeping on the floor. I mean, we've been here in small town Twin Falls, Idaho for 14 years because it started here. We still, to this day, get about an application every other day.
Wow.
It's that big. And now we were featured on a bunch of big TV programs, and a lot of people found out about us, and now we've trained over 440 chapters in 48 states and 4 countries, and we're this summer we'll break that 400,000th bed built.
That's incredible. Well, and I know, I know I keep going back to the well here. We cover multiple areas here on RiverBender.com on both sides of the Mississippi. But going into this, I know the Alton chapter is going strong and people can keep joining up with that. I wanted to ask about if somebody else in the area, if it's not in, relatively close terms, I don't know how chapters break down. What does that look like to kind of to start one? And what's that process look like?
You can get all the information on our website, shpbeds.org. You can go there and, obviously donate. Not greater than 90% of your donation stays in the chapter that you select. You can find the local chapter. When you go to shpbeds.org, it doesn't come to some big national page. It's going to come to your local chapter's webpage because we want you to see what's happening locally. You'll see how many kids are on the floor. You'll see how many beds they've built. And you can get involved. And then if you don't have a chapter close by you, you can start a chapter. And we put on trainings once a quarter and put on about 50 chapters a year, and they're extremely successful. It doesn't take any experience. So
and just a testament is just watching the work that's been done in our own backyard here, Luke. It's just been fantastic, and just bringing so many people together, and really seeing companies use it as team building activities, and all these different avenues. I got to ask you before I go, is there anything that we needed to promote, any calls to action that Sleep in Heavenly Peace is working on here as the spring starts to roll here?
The biggest thing I ask everybody is just, you think it's simple, but it does mean a lot. Just open your mouth. Please just share what you learned today. And then go to our website and find out for yourself. Go to your local schools and find out how bad child bedlessness is. I promise you, once you realize what's going on in your own town and the kids right across the street, per se, and what they're sleeping on, you can be a part of that solution. You can be part of that good that needs to happen in your community. Just visit our website and if it's not sleeping on the peace, find something that you're passionate about and go after it.
Well, Luke, it's been great talking with you, and we're going to link everything in a write-up on RiverBender.com. You're welcome back anytime to fill us in on more great work that you guys are doing. Pleasure's all ours over here.
Thanks, CJ.
We'll take a quick break at 10:52, and we'll come back and wrap up the Wednesday that was. We are getting more reports of that storm damage that's coming in from Grafton and from Morrill. We'll keep you updated on that. More coverage next. Accidents happen in a heartbeat, but lives change forever. Whether it's a car crash, workplace injury, medical malpractice, or wrongful death, you don't have to face the consequences alone. Keith Short and Associates brings over 33 years of experience and a reputation for fighting fiercely for your rights. For relentless representation that you can trust, call Keith Short and Associates at 618-254-0055 today for a free consultation.
Firearms training shouldn't feel intimidating. At Precision Point Armory in Bethalto, we focus on safety, confidence, and real-world skills. Whether you're new or renewing your concealed carry, you'll get professional instruction without pressure. Learn safe handling, sound decision-making, and proper techniques tailored to your experience level. If you're looking for premium firearms training in the heart of Bethalto, Illinois, call 618-779-9947 or go to precisionpointarmory.net and train with confidence today.
Struggling with depression that just won't go away? At Precision TMS, we offer a non-invasive, drug-free treatment designed to target the areas of the brain linked to mood regulation. Using FDA-cleared transcranial magnetic stimulation, gentle magnetic pulses help reactivate underperforming brain circuits without surgery or sedation. Many patients experience real relief, even after other treatments haven't worked. Our experienced team provides personalized care every step of the way. Contact Precision TMS today to see if TMS therapy is right for you.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
I set the thermostat so my house would be warm when I got home from work, but the kitchen is still cool.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we stand behind every Linux system we sell.
My dealer said he'd take care of everything.
At Barrett Heating and Cooling, we understand everyone wants prompt, professional service.
Turns out it wasn't my furnace after all, just a little something blocking the vent.
Pretty smart dog if you ask me. For service you can count on, call Barrett Heating and Cooling.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
What's up, it's my Keith. What's up, bro? Back to spotlight other amazing alumni and how they discovered their path at Lewis and Clark. Let's jump into it. This is Tom Wells,
an assistant chief of the Godfrey Fire District. He has been a firefighter and an EMT for over 20 years. Tom is currently an instructor in the Lewis and Clark paramedicine program and has 2 degrees from LC, fire science and nursing.
I'm Tom Wills, and I'm a trailblazer.
Oh no, another bad headache? Yeah. Maybe it's time to see your doctor.
OSF Healthcare can handle all of your family's primary care needs, including diagnosing health issues or referring you to a specialist. Schedule an appointment today.
Welcome back, 10:57. Couple of minutes for you, and we do have more updates on storm damage throughout the Riverbender coverage area. This is out of Drifters in Grafton. They are going to be closed today. We'll have more for you on a story, but this is some of the photos. This is from their Facebook page. This is what they saw in terms of damage, and as you can see, just some devastating stuff. That's part of the roof of Drifters. Wow. With that being said, this community does such a great job of coming together and support, and I know that everyone else will when Drifters reopens, and really just for anyone that was affected by this storm, just know that your community's there for you, and just hate to see it. That was a tough one today, and there is definitely confirmation of an EF1 tornado is what we're seeing now. I don't know if that's what hit Grafton, but it is, I believe we just saw confirmation on it hitting Morrow that was an EF1. More details for you soon in a write-up, but just more damage from the storm that hit Grafton and Drifters. Right there. Tough to see. We should be out of the thick of the storms for the rest of the day. Just some more light rain throughout the rest of the day, and then storms are cleared for the next 10 days, so hopefully we get some time to get some cleanup efforts underway. We're about out of time today. Stay dry today if you can, and just stay tuned to RiverBender.com/weather. I'll see you bright and early, live at 9 for more of our daily show tomorrow. Until then, try your best, as always, to stay out of jail.